There's a level of intelligence that doesn't argue, doesn't try to dominate, and doesn't need to prove itself. It observes, and when someone operates from that level, people feel it. Not because it's evil, not because it's dark, but because awareness creates pressure. So what is this type of intelligence? It's strategic intelligence, but not in a manipulative sense. It's the ability to see systems instead of just stories, to recognize patterns instead of reacting emotionally, to understand incentives without becoming cynical. Most people look at situations and focus on intentions. A strategic thinker looks at structure, not do they mean well, but what does this system reward? What behavior does this environment produce? What changes if incentives shift? That's not paranoia, that's pattern recognition. And here's the important distinction. Strategic intelligence is not about assuming everyone is evil. It's about understanding that human behavior follows predictable incentives, often unconsciously. For example, instead of assuming a boss promotes purely on merit, ask what metrics are rewarded, what pressures exist above them. Instead of assuming a friendship is forever, ask what shared circumstances hold it together. Instead of assuming a company cares deeply, ask what are employees actually measured on? This doesn't make you cold. It makes you aware. Now let's simplify the framework. The three-layer awareness model. Layer 1, the story. What people say is happening. Layer 2, the structure. What incentives, pressures, and constraints are shaping behavior. Layer 3, the ripple. What happens next if those incentives continue? Most people live in Layer 1. Strategic awareness requires seeing all three. But here's where maturity matters. Seeing incentives doesn't mean exposing everyone. Seeing patterns doesn't mean announcing predictions. Awareness without emotional regulation becomes arrogance. This is where silence becomes strength, not manipulation. The more clearly you see, the more selective you become with your words. Not because you're hiding, but because you understand timing. In a meeting, instead of saying, "This won't work," you ask, "How will we measure success?" Now you've shifted the room without confrontation. That's not playing games. That's calibrated communication. Strategic intelligence isn't about controlling people. It's about not being controlled by naive assumptions. And here's the part most dark mindset content gets wrong. If awareness makes you detached, superior, or emotionally numb, you've misunderstood it. True strategic thinkers don't lose empathy. They gain responsibility. Because once you see patterns, you have a choice. Exploit them, or navigate them ethically. Power without principle becomes manipulation. Awareness with principle becomes leadership. Yes, developing this level of perception can feel isolating at first. You notice patterns others ignore. You predict outcomes before they happen.